Okay, folks, well, it's the Rec Room episode 28, and this is going to be a pretty dang good one, man. Oh, yeah. I promised this guy right here in, gosh, what was that, September, I think? Dude, yeah. That it was very early on this school year that we were going to do an episode. Yeah. That was before I had done one, I think, and now we're at 27, and I hadn't brought you into the fold. Exactly. So I had to. There was a non-negotiable. And I thought to myself, this is going to drop, by the way, just so you all know, on April 27th. But my 22nd birthday is April 28th. So I was like, man, I got to bring on some fools for a birthday pod. And we got to figure it out. We got to go in just like that. So this is a great conversation. I'm really happy to have you guys in the Rec Room, literally this time. We're taking it live from the studio. Man, I'm excited to upgrade some digs, man. We got to get some actual studio going. But for all of you, we're in East Lansing, Michigan, at Michigan State. We're just hanging out, and it's about to be finals week. So that's kind of where I'm going to send it over to you, buddy, and introduce my man, Zach Mazzuchi, who wears a couple different hats, no doubt about that. Vice President of the Roundnet Association of America, not really, the Spikeball Club at Michigan State, and then is also a follower of Jesus who is a leader in crew ministry, which is where we all met. And then Jon Lackner, the biggest boss, the largest Michigan State hockey fan in this world, arguably. And literally, he just showed us before we started, it's real. It is determined by vote of committee that appointed this guy as the biggest leader and the most excited fan of Michigan State hockey, who had a great year, and he was there leading the Munsters in their cheering section. Also, though, an adamant participant in crew ministry and somebody who loves the Lord just as both of these guys do. So, now that we're here, how are you feeling about coming into finals week again and, kind of being at the end of the year?
Yeah, so just before coming here, I had been studying all day. I only have 2 more exams, but I do have a 5-page book report that I have not started, and I have not finished reading the book yet.
Okay.
So we're in crunch time.
Wow.
We're in crunch time. It's a grind, and that's just kind of how I do things sometimes. I push it off to the end, so, is what it is, but I think once I push through these next 3 days, it's smooth sailing on from there.
Yeah, shoot. It's prime time, Shedeur Sanders, man.
Ooh.
That's right. No, hey, 144 to Cleveland. Come on. Dang. Your first end of the year in college is approaching.
Yeah.
Answer me this. How do you feel about your first year and having the opportunity to close it out and move into a summer?
Dude, it feels amazing. Hey, God bless me bringing me here to this place. Being able to have such a great year, meet so many people. He blessed me with some pretty hard classes. I'm not going to lie, as a packaging engineer. So it's a little tough with those calculuses. But, I pushed through.
That's right.
Barely.
But we got there.
We got there?
No, at the end of the day, man, I think what I've realized, and, I'm a week away from departing, which is wild to even consider. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Gone too soon, baby. Not forever, though. Yeah. Not Aaron Hernandez. Cut it. What I've realized is that, man, it's not about, how extraordinarily well can you perform. It's, can you figure out a way to get involved in the community, which I know you have, being that you're a freshman. I wanted to say that's the one thing I wanted to applaud you on, is getting involved as fast as you did, because I did not. And looking back on it, I'm going, it would have been so amazing to be in the seat you're in. What enabled you to be in the different seats you're in and have the defined role that you have? Because, man, your personality is just magnetic. It makes it easy to float around you.
It's got to be will and ambition. I mean, like just having that drive to like wanna be present. You know, want to have a voice, want to speak out, want to like be in the room when it happens. You know,
Sure.
Like especially in like in crew leadership too. Like letting God guide me in that way, being able to help out on a bigger scale than just like a regular student hanging out and talking and being able to lead some things and not only just sit in the back and let someone else hold the reins, but grabbing them myself and be able to make some directional moves. So
Most definitely. And I think like what I've noticed within both you guys is the willingness to take on leadership roles and do it pretty quickly. I know for you, as being a VP of an organization, what does that look like, man? Because I know you're trying to find that balance between being in school, being in crew, / being an athlete, really, when you break it down, and having those responsibilities.
Yeah, it's definitely been tough this year because I've taken on, like you said, a lot of different hats of like academics, and I've been doing research, and I've been doing like teaching and stuff, and then I have Spikeball on top of that. So honestly, I've taken a hit in the athletic realm, and actually have been trying to do more of like a supportive role for the team. Because we had a lot of freshman guys come in who were very active and very adamant about getting onto the D1 squad.
Sure.
And so they put in 5-6 days a week of practice this semester and got phenomenal. And so finding my piece in that of like I'm a leader in this, and I may not be as good as them, but I can find a way to fit that niche and help them and support them. So just the little things like driving them to practice or helping do outreach to get people to come into the club in like the first place. Kind of found my niche in leadership there. So definitely it was a learning curve this year, and I want to do better next year. But I think it was nice to really see how leadership can be a little bit different than just like being the best on the team.
Sure. Yeah. I think like when I think about that and what you just described, the part that word that comes to mind is servant leadership and finding ways to meet other people's needs first. How do you feel like that parallels itself when you're in Spikeball compared to when you're in ministry? How are those two things similar of uniting people, getting them in line?
Yeah, I think that's really good. I think it's a lot of humility. Like I want to be the best. I want to be the guy who's getting focused on. Like I want to be like maybe in crew, like I want my friends to like focus on me or something like that. And the reality is like as a leader, you're not the one that they're building up. Like you're the one who has to build them up.
Right.
And so I kind of took on the same role in crew as well. It's like now being a junior, it's like I'm not having all these guys reaching out to me. I have to go and be the one to reach out. Steep learning curve for that. Definitely hit me like a truck for in crew, but also in Spikeball of like being that leader and setting up these events and doing all the behind the scenes work that you just kind of take for granted as you're like not a leader in those ministries or in Spikeball. Finally being a part of that was definitely a steep learning curve, but I think they parallel well. It's like I'm not the one focused on. I'm not going to get all the glamour. I'm not going to get all the good stuff, but I can help facilitate that.
Sure.
Building people up in their faith and building people up in their skills in Spikeball as well.
Was there a moment that you, because I know you talked about the learning curve and growing in that, was there a moment where you went, oh man, that's harder than I thought?
Definitely. So for Spikeball wise, just with these guys who are coming in, these freshmen, I mean, they put in so many hours and worked so hard, and I realized like, wow, this used to just be like a little hobby for me that I played once a week to practice, and now they're sometimes practicing twice a day. And so the learning curve there was like, wow, if I want to even keep up, I need to at least be there 3-4 days a week. So finding that niche there was pretty tough, and definitely I didn't make the D1 team for one of our tournaments this year, which was tough. Like it was like, man, like should have worked a little bit harder for that. But that's something I just gotta humble myself for and realize my position in the team is like might not be being on that team. Then in ministry too, like just the reality of I needed to reach out to these people or else they won't come. Whereas before it's like as a younger kid, it's like, oh, I'll just show up and I'll do my thing, I'll be there, and then I can dip and do my own stuff. Now as the leader, it's like if I'm not preparing if I'm not engaging the whole community, there's not going to be a Bible study. There's not going to be that life group, that community that I want if I'm not putting in the hours outside of that event.
Sure.
So what was, for me as a freshman and sophomore, a 2-hour event has now become a 4-hour time slot of making sure that the before is good, of me reaching out to people, getting people engaged and preparing for whatever we're doing.
Yeah.
And then the after section of how am I continuing conversation with these guys? How am I reaching out to them afterwards? How am I staying in contact with them?
Yeah.
So I think being a leader is you don't realize all these little things, and the little things are what kind of kill you if you don't really get into them.
Big Jon, I want to engage you here. Why does community matter? Like what have you seen this year, being at Michigan State, that's kind of opened your perspective to that question of why is it important?
That's a good question. I mean, it's always said, I've heard it in a lot of sermons, and I think specifically in the Bible, like if you don't have community, that you can't do that faith, right? We can't have our faith and be alone, right, with that, right? So that community helps support you. It helps uplift you. It gives you advice. Could be hard advice, could be good advice that you need to change, could be better, it could be uplifting advice, that encouragement to like keep going. But I think it really just provides that like that human need of other opinions and other voices around us to not only support ourselves, but then also our fulfillment to support other people like here on earth.
Yeah. Certainly. Man, yes, that's good right there. When did you feel, because I know for me, I've talked about this, I'm not sure if I've told you this directly, but when I got here, coming from Oregon to Michigan, there was a 12-day time period where I was like a wreck, man. I was sobbing every day, didn't know where to go, who to talk to, kind of felt like doubting that it was going to work here. Did you have any of those moments?
Yeah, I would say that first week was rough. I was, falling into a lot of old habits, especially with, illegal activities that aren't really set for an 18-year-old to be partaking in. But it didn't really feel like myself, and it took finding that community with people like Everett reaching out to me and coming to crew for the first time, where I was
shout out Everett Smith.
Yeah, shout out Everett Smith. Really just able to feel involved and feel loved and feel that caring community around you to kind of as a wake-up call, like I said, being able to be held accountable by your community and by your friends around you. Should you really be doing that? This is much better. Hey, we're just going to go hang out, rather than should you be going to hang out with those people to do that thing. And so it was definitely that.
I know, man, I watch what you put out there on social media. One of the things I noticed was that an illegal activity you partook in about a week and a half ago was the USC Speak Your Mind Ice Bucket Challenge.
There we go.
Talk to me about where the heck that came from.
So I got nominated.
That ended up on my doorstep. And
second I got nominated, I'm like, B-Rex coming with me. If I'm going down, you're going down
the
with me.
The bucket's on my porch out here, by the way.
It was good. Yeah. I got nominated by a buddy of mine from packaging class.
Okay.
He was like, he told me, he goes, I got nominated. You're going down with me. I was like, oh, okay. And I remember the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, both for great causes. You should check that out if you haven't. Right, for mental health and ALS studies. So it was it's to spread awareness. I donated a few dollars here, what I had left over to the cause, and it came down to my nominations. My dad already said I'm dumping a bucket of water on my head. He loves that.
Yeah.
And I was like, who's 3 people I know will do it, and I know will enjoy doing it. And it was like, oh, Brian's got to be first. I saved you for last in the nominations, but I knew you were going. You were going.
That's right.
So, yeah.
Dude, when I saw that thing come up, I literally, I'm telling you right now, I got on the horn. I was like, I'm going to get ice right now.
We're doing it.
And then in about 32 minutes, we were out there, getting ready to go.
I know. You responded. It was quick.
Bang.
Dude, I nominated 3 folks and none of them did. Period.
Really?
They just blew it off.
Really?
I was like, yeah, man.
You gotta be kidding me.
I know. I'm going to call them out right now.
Yeah, you might have to.
Ryan McCord, Stanton Ramel, and then who was the other one, man? Ben Bojanowski.
Oh, Boj!
That's the worst one.
Boj!
That's the worst one.
Oh, come on, man.
I couldn't believe that. He told me he was going to, too.
Wow.
Gosh dang it.
Pour some water on him and sleep.
Yeah, make it happen yourself, man.
That's right. Hey, we got to be entrepreneurial around here. Free spirit.
That growth mindset.
That's right.
Yeah.
We got to go get it, man. Who's going to carry the boats?
Who's
and the
gonna carry the
logs?
boats?
You know what I'm saying? Dude, I got to ask you.
Yeah.
I got to ask you. Because we've been talking a little bit about Roundnet just on the surface.
Yeah.
Take me to the deep waters here. Like, there have been changes to the game.
Yeah.
It's different than it was.
Different.
How is it different?
Yeah, so this has been kind of a critical period in Roundnet history, I think, and I think a lot of people who are playing the sport right now would say so too. Roundnet has now been placed into the hands of the players for tournaments. So how it used to be in previous years is Spikeball, the company, would set up STS tournaments, so Spikeball Tour Series tournaments. So there'd be tournaments around the country that Spikeball would pay for and set up and sponsor and all that stuff, and they would set up like the rankings too of like contender status, premier status, and pro status. This year they said, no, we're done. We're putting it in the hands of the people, which some might say, oh, that's a good thing to do because like that'll move the sport into the hands of the players. I think it's because they didn't have enough money to support it for this year. That's my take. Anyways, so now the regulations of Spikeball is in the hands of the people or the International Roundnet Federation. So a bunch of Spikeball players got to vote on these rule packages for how the rules would be set up from now on because there was a problem. The game has become too easy to hit the ball on the net, and the serving has become outrageous to where people can just, we call it serve balling, where that's all their game is just getting really good at serves, like on the righty cuts, their lefty cuts, these like crazy serves that just like go super far. So people wanted to change that, and so now that the kind of the delegation is in our hands as the International Roundnet Federation, we got to vote on these new rules, and so now they're implementing a larger ball. They're implementing an out of bounds, and they're implementing a decreased time of service. So after you'd say the score, you'd have 5 seconds to serve. Now you only have 3 seconds to serve. So different rules like that. But it's changing the game because, and I think this is for the best, it's now out of the hands of Spikeball, the company, and it's into the hands of Roundnet, the sport. And so from now on, I always think about it in basketball terms. It's like you don't refer to it as Wilson, you refer to it as a basketball. So it's not a Wilson, it's a basketball. So it's not Spikeball, it's Roundnet. So I think as we start to separate ourselves from the company of Spikeball, I think it will become more of a sport.
Sure.
The bad side of those new rules is it's so complicated. There's so many different new rules. It's like all over the place. There's different packages. There's different tournaments doing different packages. So you got to figure out what rule set you're coming into when you're playing in the tournament.
I see.
And there's just a lot of changes going on. There's different regional rules and stuff. So right now, I think we've been given that liberty of like, now we can make it up for ourselves what we want to do. But everyone's kind of making their own rules and coming up with their own things. And so there's not a division. I'd say there's more of a unity now in the Roundnet community, but there's a division of ideas and beliefs and a lot of testing that has to go on to figure out what we're doing.
I see. Yeah. That's interesting because as I think about like Olympic sports, for instance, they're governed by the IOC, the International Olympic Committee. What that does is it creates a standard.
Exactly.
But what you're telling me is it's kind of the Wild West, right? Is like people get the luxury of experimenting, but what that means is there's no standard.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's the problem is, to be fair, it's in like a testing period. Sure. So they're like testing out rule package A, testing out rule package B, and doing all that stuff. But we're in that Wild West right now. We're in that like anything goes for what the tournament says, and you just got to play by their rules.
Sure.
That being said, the bigger ball has changed the game 100%.
Yeah.
It has made it so much easier to play. There are more rallies, which makes the game much more fun and much more fun to watch too.
Yeah.
which is another big important thing. Is it's Roundnet's boring to watch if you're just seeing a bunch of serves. Like, it's cool seeing serves and stuff, but for anyone who doesn't understand the sport, so what? But when you see a guy diving, laying out to get a ball,
You're right.
and the rally's going back and forth, and so everybody can watch that.
Yeah.
Everybody can watch that, can associate with that. So I think we're looking at the horizon. The sun's coming up, but it's still dark outside.
Okay. Wow, man. That was a really good metaphor for that. I enjoyed
Yeah.
that. That was huge.
Yeah.
Because what I wanted to ask out of that is how close is Roundnet to being a national sport, quote unquote? How close is it to being in the Olympics? Like frickin' breakdancing.
Yeah, exactly.
You see what I'm saying? Is like
Exactly.
it feels like it's not that far away.
No.
I think it's definitely getting closer. I think
Sweet.
if the IRF can rein in all the rules and figure out one set of rules, once they can rein that in, then we can start saying, hey, now it's Roundnet. We have these different companies producing the Roundnet net.
Yeah.
And we can if we can regulate the net, if we can regulate the ball, and if we can regulate the rules, I think it has a lot of potential to get into the Olympic realm of sports. How long that's going to take, I have no idea.
Sure.
But we're definitely on the right track. With getting Spikeball kind of out of the way, it's now in the hands of the people. It's now in the hands of IRF. Hopefully some other companies, some competing companies may come in, make their own sets. Premier Spike is actually a up-and-coming company who has honestly kind of taken over part of the market in the competitive community, creating these Roundnet nets.
Yeah.
And it used to just be Spikeball. I mean, you ask any lay person around here, they're going to say, oh, you're playing Spikeball. You're not playing Roundnet.
True.
So that's a big step that we need to take, is taking it away from, it's not a Wilson basketball. That's just a basketball. And then it's regulated. So I think regulation is the final nail that needs to happen.
Okay.
The gateway.
Yeah. Certainly. I got one more on this.
Yeah.
And then I want to keep it moving.
Oh,
I
yeah,
want to keep
of
it
course.
flowing.
Yeah.
Because this is really good. And I'm going to speak in a hypothetical. Okay? Just know that.
Yeah.
But stay with me now.
Okay.
2 years down the line,
Yeah.
you will be out of Michigan State. You will be out of, well, from what I can tell, you'll be out of organized Roundnet. Or will you? Are you going to have involvement in the sport and in things in the community after you leave Michigan State, do you think?
Yeah. That's a tough question, because honestly, what has been hindering me right now is just like my academic career. So
Sure.
I'm hoping to go get into physical therapy school after college or after undergrad. And so depending on time, that's probably going to be my biggest thing. But I mean, I think Roundnet has a ton of potential, and especially like in like the high school realm of like club sports. Actually, when we went down to Florida to play at a huge tournament, there's a team from high school in Houston from Texas.
Okay.
And they had a coach that was teaching them
Whoa.
how to play Spikeball. And I think that would just be sweet to get my hands on. It's like teaching people how to play the sport. I kind of had a lot of that this year with a lot of incoming people, like wanting to learn how to serve, wanting to learn how to hit, how to do stuff like that. So me playing in 2 years, up in the air. I love the sport. I love the game. I'm just not that competitive at this
Sure.
point. Like it takes up a lot of time to get that competitive,
Yeah.
and with how the sport is too, with how it's that Wild West, that like uncertain frontier. I don't know that I want to be riding my horse down that road.
Yeah. That's funny because that's like how college sports at the NCAA level looks now,
Yeah.
with regulations being taken away from the NCAA
And I
and put in the hands of donors
Yeah.
and independent contractors who are making their own cash and coins. Big Jon, I heard you came here with a question.
did come here with the question.
Okay.
On the note of athletes and of all times, right? What is your athlete, like any sport, any conference, NCAA, professional, Olympics? all-time Mount Rushmore of athletes.
Yeah. This is really good.
This can go for either of you too.
This is really good.
You dabble.
What I
little bit.
think we should do is I think we should go around the horn. I think we should start with me, and then I think we should go here and here.
Alrighty.
And then we'll kind of break it down and
Yeah.
see kind of how that goes. I'm going to go with, and I'm going to lay this out from a fundamental standpoint, and we'll just go from there. I'm going to go Tiger Woods, number one. I think, like, when you consider 82 PGA Tour wins, you think about having 16 major championships, you think about 683 weeks ranked at number one in the world. It's like, how do you even comprehend that?
Yeah.
That's 12 years.
Yeah.
Like, what? I mean, who does that? I'm going Tiger Woods, number one. And then I'm going to go with, and people have not given me the benefit of the doubt on this one, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to go with Michael Jordan. Okay? And I'm going to settle the LeBron-Jordan debate right now. And I'm going to put Jordan in that spot.
I agree.
Wow.
Okay. And then I'm going to go Wayne Gretzky.
Oh.
Okay.
Interesting.
Who has been overtaken by Alex Ovechkin.
Great A.
In terms of number of goals. But the fact is, he's still 1,000 points up on anybody else. Because, right,
crazy.
He was an unbelievable passer, probably the best ever. Numerically and tangibly in making it. That's right. The great one, making it happen. 5 Stanley Cups, the thing is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, you just look through it and you go, hard to argue with that. And then I was teetering on kind of where this 4th spot is going to go. And I'm going to do a 4th, and then I'm going to do an honorable mention. I'm going to go Michael Phelps with the 4th.
Yeah.
And
that too.
I'm going to say that because 23 gold medals, that's pretty crazy. You think about being in Sydney, being in Athens, being in Beijing, being in London, being in Rio, being in it's like, who else has
Domination.
had an elongated career such as that, right? And I think, like, learning from different coaches, Bob Bowman for one, who's now at Texas. Shout out Coach Bowman. Just won a national championship with the Longhorns, swim and dive. And just, he's another one where you think about what people say, and it falls in line with the same mentality of like a Jordan. And so I'm going, yeah, that's where I have to go. But the honorable mention is Serena Williams, though.
That's great pick.
That's where I'm going to go, is like leading in terms of all-time majors in tennis. And another one of those where it's like change the game by way of securing a Nike deal, being with Reebok for a time, like having brought up like tennis in different cultures and different circles than it had ever been.
Yeah.
I got to go with her.
Yeah.
Pulling names right out of me.
That's great.
They put fireworks outside for that pick.
Boom!
Yeah.
Dude, I was like, what is that? Like, are we witnessing trouble out here?
It's East Lansing for you.
Let's go ahead.
Man, I do not have the comprehensive ball knowledge that you guys have. So,
I know you know some people.
Oh, you gotta have 4.
Can I do mine of Roundnet people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm gonna
Keep
do.
it on topic.
All
There
right.
you go.
So I don't know if you'll know any of these names, but my first pick will be probably Thomas Hamilton. This guy has been solid since probably like the beginning of competitive Roundnet. Probably been playing since like, I don't know, 2015, 2016.
Okay.
Been to tons of like world championships, so he's probably gonna be number 1. He also lives in Livonia, so he's come.
Oh, wow.
He's supported the MSU team a ton. Has
There you go.
helped us with tournaments and stuff, and has come and taught us how to play as well.
Donor?
Whoa.
Little
So
donor?
What I'm hearing is there's bias in your review.
Hey, no, but he's the other domination. You look up Thomas Hamilton.
Yeah,
he's been in it for the past, I don't even know how long. He's a forefather of Roundnet, I gotta say.
You know, I find it funny that you bring that up because I wonder if you search on ChatGPT, okay, Thomas Hamilton, would you find a superimposed image of Thomas Jefferson and Alexander Hamilton? You just used the term forefather, which makes me think that probably is true. Okay?
Dude,
Got a musical about that.
I would love to see that. I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah. When you said forefather, I went, there's not only bias, but now a conspiracy.
Mount Rushmore, too.
Yeah.
Right before. we're talking about Rushmore here. Like,
wow.
It's all connected.
Wow.
that was pretty crazy.
Coming through. Man, and then I got to go with his partner for my second one, Ryan Marino. This guy has popped up in the past couple years. Wicked serves. Just like the widest you've ever seen. Dude can do it all. Just has a lethal bag. Just deep as the eye can see, like Santa, bro. His bag is just like,
Never
it's
ending.
crazy. Yeah, exactly.
It's not like put the fries in the bag.
It's
take the present out of
It's
it.
like
different.
Surprise.
Yeah, for real.
That's right.
Exactly. So it's a present to watch him, honestly.
Yeah.
And pretty killer player. Then I gotta go with my third choice, my boy Corbin Thompson.
Go.
Dude was my partner from kind of the beginning, and I learned alongside of him. And he's a great guy too, very agile, very fun to play with. And then my last one, gotta go with Micah Bowman, my old president of the Spikeball Club. That guy, he put in the hours. He's a father now with a child.
Ooh,
Dude's 23. He's a wise man, and he can play some good spike ball too.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
man,
that's good.
that's my spike ball Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Exactly. What about you?
So I'm gonna go out like saying a Mount Rushmore is about impact, right?
Yeah.
Like it's these people and what they contribute to the sport, right? And although I want to pick Wayne Gretzky as my first pick, with all the points scoring, I got to go with Gordie Howe.
Wow.
Mr. Hockey himself.
Yeah.
Legend. I mean, when you think of terms of hockey, this guy's out there on rickety skates in the 30s.
That's right.
With a wooden twig and just putting the hammer down on people.
Wow.
And think about the longevity. I mean, he played for almost 40 years. Like it was dang near 40 years of just physical commitment to the game. And hockey's not an easy sport to play at all, especially back then when no helmet, very little padding, like leather skates, not even composite, and straight metal blades. So I mean, when you really think about how much he added to the sport too, I mean, he's definitely up there.
Yeah.
And third all-time goal scoring leader. I mean, he's in the record books.
The numbers speak for themselves.
Yeah. All right, number 2, I gotta go with Jesse Owens. And now left field pick, but when you think about
I
impact,
can see that.
he was one of the first to do it, right? As an African American athlete, showing out in front of some of our biggest opponents in the World War scheme there on the Olympics. Just proving everybody wrong. I feel like that deserves a spot. Just in terms. I was going to pick Serena Williams for my number 3. I thought it was a really great pick for your honorable mention. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen more impact from from a tennis player than that. I mean, especially the deals too. Like that was looking at the contract numbers on that. That's crazy. Like to even really think about. And then number 4, MJ. I mean, everyone talks about it, and LeBron on paper statistically might be a better player.
Sure.
He might have the points, and you want to argue that he's better. I'll listen and I'll agree with that. But in terms of impact, Jordan.
No.
I mean, currently, if you ask a kid now, he's going to know about LeBron James, but he's going to know what Jordans are.
Right.
He's going to know the Jordan logo. I mean, if you think about the league, they're not wearing LeBron James logos on their jerseys. They're wearing Jumpman.
Yeah.
And I mean, those are like football teams, like Oklahoma. What does Oklahoma have to do with basketball? Nothing, but they got Jordan on their jerseys. So, I mean, I think that deserves a cement spot in the all-time athletes.
Okay. Yeah.
So that'd be my 4.
Yeah.
Now I gotta pose a question from both of you
This
guys.
is good.
Yeah.
No Tom Brady.
See, it's interesting, isn't it?
I mean, I got bias, a little bit bias against Tom Brady. I mean, obviously he's got the records, he's got the rings, he's got the passing yards, he's got the touchdowns.
Michigan man, though.
I grew up a Michigan man. I was U of M fan, hard, tight, and true, and coming here completely changed my perspective. He's great. He's great. Does he really deserve a spot out of athletes you think about? Like if you ask somebody in a different country if they know who Tom Brady is, but you ask them who is Michael Jordan, they're gonna know Michael Jordan. Do they know Tom Brady?
Yeah, but then if you're bringing in that, then they would probably put
True.
Messi way above.
Well, okay.
I didn't think about that.
I mean, sure.
I didn't think about that.
Actually, that's a very
Messi
fair
And
point.
then you
Might
got the
deserve to be on that
Ronaldo Messi
list.
debate. And
You're
then
right.
You're opening a can of worms.
Dude, it's a
there.
spiral.
See, that's what it's hard.
I was considering Usain Bolt. I thought about it for a minute.
We think alike.
Yeah.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah. I really did. There was another one too. Oh, Lance Armstrong. Now that's a polarizing one because of the whole shooting up thing.
Exactly.
Get
Invalid.
Mark McGuire on there too. If you will.
Yeah.
Barry Bonds.
That's the other thing. I mean, shoot. We didn't really go much to the baseball side.
It's hard to fit, top in just in four
That's
of
right.
so many sports.
Yeah.
I like the Spikeball pick. Like if
Yeah.
you're doing top
Thanks,
four
Ivan.
athletes in
Yeah.
a specific sport,
Yeah.
it'd probably be a lot easier.
I
Oh,
agree.
definitely.
I
Definitely.
agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
I don't know how deep your MLB knowledge is, but
It's decent. Yeah.
that'd be a good one. I'm a big baseball fan too.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Even though I'm the hockey guy, I love me some baseball in the
That's right.
spring. That's the trade off. It's hockey those winter months, and straight as that, the hockey season's tailing out, baseball's in full swing. So
what do you think about the state of the major leagues right
Ooh.
now? Is it in good shape?
I mean, in terms of viewership, I think so. Do I think that it's a monopoly? I think so. I think teams like the Yankees and the Dodgers are controlling so much of the market that it leaves teams like the Miami Marlins or like your Minnesota Twins that aren't getting that viewership and that pull, or your Athletics that don't get all those people at the games, and it kind of just it's sad to watch. Like these teams can't field billions of dollars over a couple Showing Times contracts for 14 years.
Yeah.
You think about playing baseball in the league for 14 years on one team?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, and it's remarkable because of what LA did to defer the salary.
Yeah.
Right? So it's $70 million a year. But the thing is, it's $2 million a year for 10 years. And then, what would that be? 18 a year deferred for the second 10.
He wants to wait that out, though.
But the thing is, for now, because they're just paying him $2, they can sign whoever they want and win.
That's why their team's so dominant. I mean, you saw that opening series against my Tigers.
That's right. And the Tigers aren't playing bad baseball right now either. No. I think
Gritty.
That's right. Gritty.
Gritty Tigers.
Let me ask you this. Is the Athletics move to Las Vegas going to help?
From a viewership standpoint and having the fans in the stands and having, that engagement that, I would say that the Raiders were able to pull as well, I 100% think so. I mean, people also, if you're in Vegas to gamble too for the summer, I mean, I'm not saying I agree with people doing that, but it's, it's a market. It's gonna pull that.
That's right.
Why not go see a baseball game too? And if they're able to capitalize on that, I think it'll be good for a money side of the organization. But necessarily for the players, I don't know. It's a toss-up because it's if they really like the city and playing for the city, and if the fan interaction's good, is it there? But I mean, it's all what's gonna bring more money to the league because it's a business.
Yeah. Okay, definitely. What would you guys say to a rapid fire segment before we get out of here?
I'm all ears.
Okay, cool. 3 words to describe your life right now.
Oh man. Joyful, busy, and future.
Okay. Where does your joy come from?
My joy is from the Lord, first and foremost.
Amen.
But I think I also draw a lot of joy from my life. I have a lot to be thankful for, a lot to be happy, and a lot to be grateful for. And not that all that is what my focus is on, but it definitely helps to be joyful when I have a loving family, loving friends, loving community, and all that.
Well, think about it this way. It all came from the Lord's provision, right?
Yes,
sir.
So it's those two are not mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
They run together.
Exactly. Yeah.
Blind.
3 words.
3 words. Gritty.
Okay.
Joyful. And movement.
Okay.
Movement.
Break down movement for me.
Movement. I mean, moving up in the world, second year of college coming up, new responsibilities,
Right.
new classes, new leadership positions with that being the Munsters and crew, moving dorms, I mean, my family's moving. Both my sisters are getting married. We're all dispersing over the state and over the region in the Midwest. So it's a lot of movement, not only here in East Lansing, but everywhere for me too. And just adapting to that and whatever the Lord has in will for me and in store with that.
That's right.
Just being able to to grow.
Okay, that's really good, man. So, what is the next step of faith that you can take? Because there has been movement in your life that's continuing to permeate through that thing.
Dude, it's got to be laying it all down for the Lord and just being able to, like I said, give Him the reins. It's really hard to, because you want to be in control. We want to be in control of our own lives, but being able to fully give it to Him and, fully guide Him with, what is right for the Lord for what I'm doing with my life and what my decisions are with, future career paths, because there's a wide open world of packaging, and I can go anywhere. I can do anything with that. But is it what the Lord has in store for me, or is that just what I want? Is that packaging career? Is that packaging job what I want for me, or is that what the Lord's calling me to do? Is He calling me to ministry? Is He calling me, to service? Is He calling me to go on mission and anything like that? So, yeah.
Absolutely. And then for you, buddy, if you could play Spikeball, Roundnet, excuse me.
Is what it is.
I'm learning.
Yeah. Hey, it's changing.
I'm learning. It's evolving. If you could play a game of Roundnet anywhere in this world, where would you play it?
Man, I've seen some nice clips on Spikeball's Instagram of people playing on some beautiful mountain peak.
Yeah.
So I think that would be it. Wherever I could get a nice grassy flat field with a view of mountains around me, right by a lake. That's what I would do.
Rocky Mountain National Park, Colorado.
Rocky Mountain High.
Favorite song. One of my favorite songs.
That's good. John Denver.
Love me some John
I'm
Denver.
about that. That was great.
Mom used to play me that song on the radio driving home every day.
That's what it is.
That's huge. That's what it is. Listen, boys, thank you for being a part of the Rec Room. It means a lot.
Man,
thanks for having us.
To have done it. And before we go, I want to extrapolate 2 people that you both want to shout out.
Man.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
All right, Everett Smith. Thanks for a great year of discipleship and just being able to grow. And then the great one, not Wayne Gretzky, but Jesus himself. Just for everything that He does for not only me but everyone else in this world, and just paying that price so that we can live in peace.
Yeah, dude. At first I thought you were gonna call him Grain Wetsky. I was like, what?
That'd be kind of funny, maybe.
Throw it around a little bit.
That's right.
I'm gonna shout out my boy Chris Neo.
There it is.
Hey.
Neo!
Gotta shout him out. Check out the pod. And then just gotta shout out my Spikeball boys. All of them. Corbin and Reed and Jack and the whole bunch, man. Wes, Garrett, all those guys. So gotta shout them out.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, it's been delightful to be sitting here with you boys.
Yeah,
and this has been episode 28 of The Rec Room with Bryan Rector. And today it's Zach Mazzuchi and Big Jon.
Good to see you guys.
Yes.
Let's go.
Thank you.